Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the FSL MLBB Singapore Malaysia tournament. Remember, this is a knockout, so there will not be any qualifiers. But let's just go through over the prizes, shall we? In third and fourth place, they actually will get 1,000 diamonds. And then in second place, 2,000 diamonds. In first place, 4,000 diamonds. But before we get all that, a big shout out to our official partners as well as sponsors, Dreamcore, Super Solid, as well as Yahoo for making this possible. Not sure if you guys actually missed out on any of the matches. If you have and you are interested to watch it, remember you can head on down to FSL mobile that is on Facebook, and you can actually watch the games that take place. We actually streamed 2 games yesterday. We streamed Team versus the MYAs, and then we also streamed Lilith up against Alphette Gaming. For today, there will actually be 2 games that stream as well. And first off, it's gonna be the first semi-finals is Asterisk up against Alphette Gaming, and then we also have the winner of them is going to be going to the grand finals, and that's going to be a BO5. Remember, before the grand finals is going to be a BO3 throughout. So I'm just going to draw out the brackets coming up on the screen right now. So that is your bracket on the screen, and that is how it's going to look like for now. We're gonna see we actually have an interesting bracket so far because all the teams are too old, so we haven't really seen any team comebacks sort of comeback in the second game. It's all been 2-0 throughout in this best of 3 series, except for the grand finals, which on your screen, as you can see, is gonna be a BO5. And yeah, I mean, if you look at the teams that in this competition, we have a couple of familiar names. As you know, Asterisk has been around for a really long time. Alphette Gaming, their lineup, I wouldn't say it's the newest. I know a couple of the players as well, so they did really well yesterday. I mean, we saw Mama Gray, who was on her Lunox, and then the lineup kind of just I wouldn't say revolved around her, but Lunox is one of those heroes where you pop off really well because of the Chaos Assault blows that you can deal with at level 4. I mentioned about her not having cooldown, effects at all. So yeah, please just don't build cooldown reduction on Lunox. But yeah, she builds into the lightning wand, and then after that she goes for concentrated energy. But you gotta build that level 3 jungle item for mages as well. So that's something that you have to look at. But yeah, I'm guessing that today's games are definitely going to be a lot more tighter because coming to the semi-finals, all of these teams are pretty much the best of the best. In these 2 separate regions, in Singapore and Malaysia. We'll also be having the games for Philippines as well as Myanmar, if I'm not wrong. Yep, it should be those 2 countries that we'll be playing as well. But because due to the COVID-19 situation and a lot of uncertainty regarding the offline games, it's more of a preparation for the teams for the upcoming circuit. So we can't really say for sure regarding to the timing of when the stream is, or rather when the competition will actually begin, because it's been pushed back because of all this COVID-19 madness. And so we'll wait till everything settles down, and that's when we'll take a look at how we can get the competitions running as soon as possible, and we'll announce the dates on social media. So if you haven't followed us on Facebook or Instagram, and do follow us so that we can also keep you guys updated as to when we can keep the whole circuit up and running. But looks like the teams are already ready, so we should be able to go anytime soon. Remember, I mentioned that the game for today, or rather for the first game for today, we'll be playing Asterisk and Alphette, so I'm really excited about that. But we'll go for a short commercial break. When we begin, we'll bring you the first game of the day, so remember to stay tuned to that. Alright, so hopefully you guys are already ready, because our teams are already up and running, or rather the lobby is already up and running. So let's just jump straight into it, shall we? Alright, there we have it on the screen right now. Asterisk is going to be playing on the blue side. And then we're going to see Alphette Gaming playing on the red. I'm sure you guys who have been catching up with the FSL, or rather the MPL itself, we'll see a couple of familiar names coming in. I mean, we do see Tian, who's part of Notorious Villains. And then, you know, we saw what the side of Alphette Gaming can really do to their opponents yesterday. So hopefully they will keep up this form that they have going for them. Perfect record for them so far, all 2-0 games. So hopefully we will see something a lot tighter. So we do see a Selena as well as a Krufa ban instead of Asterisk, and they are really prioritizing this Valor pick. Like I said, I'm not too surprised as to why Valor got first pick. He's good, decent amount of CC, or rather decent amount of damage. He's got a CC because of his passive. And the best part about Valor is that he's one of the most flexible pick out there, right? You can really flex him out. He can go mid lane as a mage. He's really good as a support. He can actually just play top lane if you want to. You know, Valor top isn't really the most surprising hero out there. Granted, he's not the tankiest hero, but he's still a viable one because he's really good in the 1v1 situation. So it looks like Asterisk is going to pick up the Jawhead. So I'm pretty sure we're going to move Valor into that support role because they pick up the Chow. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a support Chow, or rather a tank Chow. And then we will see Jawhead go top and Valor as the second support. So they're only going to be most likely running Chow as the pure tank. And then, you know, they'll probably pick up a mage as well as a marksman to kind of complete that roll up. But we do see Alphette Gaming banning out the Uranus as well as the carry. We talk about carry, why she's such a good pick. You know, one of the most stable heroes alongside, or the marksman alongside Granger. A little bit different compared to Bruno, because Bruno and Granger are more similar to one another compared to carry, because they're both really good from early to late game. Because of the mechanics and how the kit allows them to come online the moment the game begins. You know, they have the crit, they don't really need too much farm to stay relevant, but you know, you leave them alone for a few minutes, and suddenly when they pop up into the next team fight, and it really hurts them, because of that crit damage. But they will pick up a Diggy as well as a Grok, which I do like. It does set up for a top laner. And it looks like Xbox is going to be in the ban out the Granger as well. So they recognize the fact that Asterisk need a marksman. They take out 2 of the most potent marksmen available to them. But that leaves the 1-1 open. And yes, Asterisk will go in for the lockdown. And they pick up a Camilla. And wow, okay, so it's a Valor mid. Okay, if I'm not wrong about that, it's going to be Camilla support. And then they'll probably run 1-1 down the bot lane alongside either the Jawhead or the Chow. I mean, if you look at Asterisk's lineup, they have so much options available to them, right? You've got you can practically run anyone at top other than Camille and 1-1, and then over the side of Alphette Gaming, it's a lot more straightforward. So I'm sure, if I'm not too wrong about that, it's gonna be a it's tough to say, but I will definitely root for a Camilla mid, maybe a mid or support. We'll see. But I think Valor mid should be the best, and then, you know, you put either the Jawhead or the Chow on top.
All troops deployed.
But over the side, Alphette Gaming definitely a lot more straightforward. You know, Lunox down in mid, and you have the Grox that's supporting her in mid lane. While you have the Xbox that's probably going to play top. You have the Diggy and the Bruno, who's going to be in the jungle right now. But I'm pretty sure that's going to be going to the bot lane anytime soon. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty even draft per se. I do prefer Asterisk draft because of the Valor. As well as the 1-1, which coming into the late game, I don't see anyone really having an answer to it because of the lack of CC. Yes, they do have Diggy's time reversal and and all that, but they don't really have someone that can really catch on to the 1-1. If the 1-1 is left to farm for too long, that might become an issue for Alphette Gaming to deal with. So they have to capitalize on the fact that they have a Bruno as well as a Diggy who can dish out damage early game, and once that Lunox hits level 4, they need to start rotating around the map. I mean, really put the pressure to make sure that Asterisk do not have the space for 1-1 to get into the late game status that they want to. But for now, it looks like everything is fine. Don't really see too much of a rotation. We do see Alphette Gaming trying to press the issue down in the top lane. Nothing that Irene can really do by her own flame shot coming up from Grok. Neil picks her up, and that's gonna be the first lane coming up. So they're doing the right thing right here. They want to put the focus onto the lanes, put a lot of pressure onto whatever lane they can, and looks like top lane is gonna be it. Turtles coming up in 50 seconds, and the right call for Asterisk right now is to either take a team fight here with the Valor nearly hitting level 4, either that or put pressure on bot. So it looks like they want to push a little bit into jungle with that Valor. Don't think they can really do too much, especially with the Grok around there. Spoke about the power of nature as well as the wall charge, which he's already hit on that hit on level 4. So timing all right for Kimiko. Hello, Daphne does have to worry about position a little bit. Let's take a bit of damage from those flame shots. Gonna set up those I want to call it free vision with the auto alarm bombs, because you do get you do know when the opponent is in there when your bomb does go to the opponent. As Alof gonna be pushing down the bottom. It's like quite a peaceful lane, I would say, for both Shah and Alof. I mean, both of them are playing that sort of that off laner role, I would say. Mickey currently in mid, trading blow for blow on both ends. So Turtles coming up right now, and whoever's gonna be winning that next team fight will definitely have a little bit of the advantage. You can see, Asterisk, they want to clear up this red bar before taking any sort of a fight. Looks like we're gonna see Asterisk like a little bit behind in terms of objectives. I mean, I did mention about Alphette Gaming and how they should be pressuring the lanes, and this is what they're doing so well. We can see them now trying to force something in the bot lane. They know the threat of the 1-1 is beyond that 10-minute mark, and now they're forcing in Xbox. Xbox going to be using that last insanity to clear those waves. Meanwhile, we're going to see Asterisk do the right thing, right? Push the other lanes, give up the bot lane, but take up those two, and now they can even look to take one more in mid if they want to. That's gonna be tier 2 for them. I'm not sure if someone from the side of Alphette Gaming can come back in time. It looks like they're not. They want to force that bot lane take though, so it's gonna be quite a decent trade. That's gonna be the first blood coming in for first from the bottom lane. Nothing really much to shout right there, just forcing their way through. Chow nearly getting that top lane, but we do see them going for the turtle. I'm not sure if Alphette Gaming do want to contest this. They do get spotted out. Kimiko already quarter HP gone. Last Insanity will allow the Xbox to take up, and here we go. Way of the Dragon kicks Mei back into there, and here comes Diggy to save him with the ultimate, and Mei's gonna get out there just fine. Really good trade-off, I would say, for Alphette Gaming, because not only do they take the turtle, but they don't lose anyone, right? They practically traded blow for blow with Asterisk, and they didn't really lose the top tower. Yes, they had to push a little bit down the bot lane, had to a bit of gamble, but now we do see Camille coming right in. Last Insanity up again, and they might bring 10 down as well. Camille dropping really low. Yes, they do get it. A good wall coming off of the Grog will trap the Valor, but they do lose the Grog as well as the Xbox for it. I wouldn't say that's too much of a loss because Bruno's farming right now. Mickey taking quite a bit of those shots coming in. One more shot might do the trick, but she does get out just in time. So I think that was a little bit too late. But for now, it looks like Alphette Gaming will resume business as usual, pushing down those lanes after that team fight, which I gotta say, Asterisk Gaming did a good job at managing the loss there. You know, yes, they did lose both the Valor as well as the Camille, but you know, they're not really the worst heroes to really lose in team fight. I mean, it could have gotten so much better. It could have lost the 1-1, but this time around, Tian once again taking a lot of damage. I think Bruno uses ultimate there, and I'm not sure if Diggy had to use the ultimate, but Halo definitely do wants to keep her team alive, so I'm sure it's just better be safe than sorry. But that's no Diggy ultimate for 30 seconds, which means Chow can look to get someone. Irene's already gotten her Blade of Despair. I'm not sure if she can actually kill the Xbox here, and they might. She has immortality, but that's gonna burn away one charge of immortality. Doesn't matter though. Mid lane still trading blow for blow on both ends. 1-1 dropping really low, and that's gonna be the brutal ultimate right there. They get on 10 as well. That's 2 heroes down, and the only thing that they really lose in that fight, it's gonna be the Xbox on the bot lane against Chow. Small price to pay, I would guess, but they do manage to finally get that mid tier 1. They do lose the tier 2 on the top side. Asterisk doing a good job at managing the losses, like I mentioned in the first half of the game. As long as they can get Mickey up to speed, right? If you look at itemization right now, she's already building in her Demon Hunter Sword. She'll probably go into the golden stuff ASAP, but she's already got the damage base down. Once she gets the Demon Hunter Sword finished, that's where she comes out online. She can get those weakness stacks up with the weakness in the finder, and then, you know, once those stacks come up, she can use the ultimate, and that's where, you know, she's ready to go. She can basically, you know, do a lot of damage. Jawhead now locking on to Jawhead. Alright, the Xbox tries to go for the toss, but Shah doing a good job by flickering away. Tries to use the last Insanity, but not gonna find anyone. Meanwhile, mid lane Tian once again being targeted by the rest of Alphette Gaming. She might just go down there. Yes, she does, but Jawhead comes in a little bit too late, and now they must back out. Bubble Tea, Alphette Gaming have to be careful about chasing this one down. They are really low, and that's gonna be a double kill for the side of Bubble Tea. Good job as well. And now Irene looking to power even more misery onto Alphette Gaming. They will have to back off, but that is a good fight from Asterisk, considering the fact that they already lost, you know, Tian early into the fight. A good pick off. You know, they threw everything down to her, and that's the danger of trying to chase down a Valor. If you're not managing those fights well, right, and you're chasing him down, he's just gonna burn you out with those shots, with those fireball shots. So you gotta make sure you know, you don't chase a Valor without having those get closer. And if you look at the lineup on the side of Alphette Gaming, like I said, they don't really have someone that has the CC needed to catch on. Yes, they have the time reversal, which they use on Tian to catch the Camilla out of place, but other than that, they don't really have something to lock that down. A good pick off on the bot lane, but still, they need to catch that 1-1. Looks like both sides are coming to a standstill for now. 10 minutes in. about to reach the 11th mark. We do have Alpha Gaming, who's slightly above in terms of goal lead. You know, they have that 2k goal lead, rather that 1.4k goal lead going on for now. Lot coming up anytime now. It's gonna be Asterisk scouting the area, making sure it's clear. And this is where 1-1 is gonna be really scary. Because if she can get those stacks off, that's gonna cause quite a bit of problem for Alphette Gaming. Mickey completing that Demon Hunter sword like I mentioned. So Alphette Gaming doing all the right thing. They're checking all those brushes, making sure that there's no one nearby. But they're just not running to anyone. Kimiko now starting up that power of nature. Does that spin. Gets a good lockdown. They get the spin off. Diggy using the ultimate to make sure the team comes up. They manage to bring down the Valor. They might bring down even more. 1-1 now. Getting those stacks on it. They do get Kimiko off the board. But May now still up and running. Chow comes in, blows him up with the Chikundo. And Irene now going to town, still has the ultimate to deal with. Doesn't even need it. That's it. They catch out Mama Grey, and now they're going for the Diggy. I don't think Daphne can go anywhere, because they should be able to get. It's gonna be almost. It's as good as a team wipe. I mean, Xbox wasn't there, but you know, I'm sure that even if the Xbox was there, there wasn't really much that she could have done. Now, can Diggy do anything here? That one damage, you gotta believe as a Diggy, you know, they're not gonna contest for the lot. It's gonna go all to Asterisk. I mentioned, guys, I mentioned chat, I mentioned about Mickey, as well as, you know, the threat of 1-1 not having the lockdown needed. That's gonna be the cause of the game, and I just don't see anything that, you know, the side of Alphette Gaming have to catch out that 1-1. Yes, they have the damage, you know, with the Lunox as well as the Xbox and the Bruno, but they don't have the CC needed to go into the backline. They're aiming Tian, you know, they're taking down the Jawhead, you know, they're bringing down the Valor. But if you don't bring down the 1-1, that's where, you know, the moment she gets those weakness stacks up, she pulls off her ultimate, then that's where you're gonna see the damage really start to lay out. I'm pretty sure they should be able to secure this tier 3. That's going to be a lot rush onto tier 3. Last Insanity going to be used right here, so Shah has to be careful. Immortality already up and running, but look at that. With one lot, they take not only the top, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be the bottom tower as well. Chow now locking down the Diggy. Does manage to use the Way of the Dragon to kick Diggy all the way out of base. And now they want to go for more. Tian leading the front line with the lifesteal. Valor now locking them down with those fireball shots. Irene gonna be securing that bottom tier 3 tower. A lot of major items coming up right now on both sides. We do see a corrosive scythe onto the Chow just to, you know, further add onto the slow. And then you also have a Fleeting Time coming out with Hollow Daphne, which is really important because you want to get the time reversal as fast as possible, because that's their only way out if the child does land CC on them. And you can see Asterisk just doing all the right things right now, right? Just, you know, making sure to stop them out of the jungle farm. Jawhead is being a pain in the neck in the top side. I'm sure that's a little bit of an overextension. Yes, she does have immortality, but that was a little bit unneeded from this side of the Jawhead, right? A little bit of an overextension that's going to cost them 30 seconds without a Jawhead. Lord coming up in 61 seconds, but that's fine, right? Even without the Jawhead, they can still put pressure on the lanes, push them out, you know, wait for the Lord to come up. And I would love to see Asterisk not push out the waves. The reason being why, because when you don't push out the waves, that means the creeps are frozen in mid lane, and that just sets up so much trap potential from Asterisk, because when the side of Alphette Gaming wants to come up and farm, they can actually just go for a gank, or just go onto the MM when he's straggling when she's straggling behind compared to the rest of the team. They do spot out the Xbox down in the bottom lane, and looks like they're gonna start things off with a couple of flame shots. They're gonna burn the second immortality away from Shah as well. That's not gonna help, even with the ultimate, and Irene might face the same trouble. That's gonna be oh, she does pick up the speed buff. It's gonna allow her to go right past the wall. Meanwhile, mid lane, we do see Hello definitely picking up the courage mask. That's gonna help them with a bit of mobility with the next team fight. But we do see Alphette Gaming already lagging behind in terms of objectives. We do see the Lord getting taken out, no contest. Kimiko trying to come in with the wild charge, but I'm pretty sure that's gonna be an easy kill with Mickey and the Demon Hunter sword she has on the 1-1. Straightforward so far, and looks like the Lord's gonna come up on the top side. Asterisk, all they have to do is just wait for the Lord here, and if they do not make a mistake, this pretty much is gonna be the GG push coming in. I mean, they've already gotten the super minions on both the top and bottom lane, and because of the Lord, they get another wave down the middle. See a lot of damage already coming off the Valor. They might be able to bring down the 1-1 here, and that might just have been the saving grace. But Lord still at half HP. Irene struggling to get off the base, and they still trying to end the game right there. But they do manage to secure the tier 3 tower, but a little bit of an overextension coming up from Mickey. She does sacrifice her life for it, and that is just one more I gotta say, Alphette Gaming just bought themselves one more team fight. Growing one coming up for Bubble Tea right now. She has gotten most of her itemizations right. I would say Ice Cream 1. She's gotten the Winter Truncheon just in case she does get caught out. Yeah, if you realize Alphette Gaming do recognize the threat in the Valor, so they have been constantly trying to target Valor as well as those soft support. Once again, they might be able to just get her just in time, burning both the immortality. That Winter Truncheon is not going to help her for too long. They do find one more knockoff, and a little bit of a split push coming out from Irene, just waiting for the last wave of creeps to come in. I'm not sure if they can defend in time. Yes, it is. The backdoor will come in. Sneaky play coming up from Asterisk. And what a play that was. If you look at the scoreboards on the screen, it was pretty even in terms of scores, right? Look at that, both with 12 kills, nothing really standing between them. Objective wise, I think Alphette Gaming did really well in the first half of the game. They really pressurized as much as they could, but like I said, the one thing that I realized, or rather if the viewers are realizing as well, is that they didn't really have much CC. They don't really have something to do with the 1-1. Granted, they have Diggy's second skill, but with the time reversal, rather reverse time, you can only catch up one target, right? It's not an AoE stun. They don't really have something that can really lock down the 1-1. And yes, they did manage to find her a couple of times, but that was just because Asterisk was just being really aggressive. They wanted to end the game right there. So they managed to catch the 1-1 out of position. But other than that, in most of the team fights, they don't really have they either lack the damage to burst down the 1-1 because they were too focused on either the Valor or the Camille, but when it came down to the last few team fights, you could see Miki was just keeping her distance, laying all those stacks on the Kimiko, who's playing the Grok, and then once she gets her ultimate up, it's pretty much the team fight going in Asterisk's favor. So yeah, I mean, that being said, that was really close. You gotta give props to both sides. It was, I gotta say, close to a certain degree. Uh, Alphette Gaming did all the right things in the first half of the game. They went for objectives, they put in pressure, trying to stop Mickey from getting the late game, trying to stop the 1-1 from getting a farm, but it was just not enough. You could see, you know, with the Valor, it's just proven to be too much of a damage, especially not only in team fights, but when you're trying to go for the chase, when you're trying to finish Asterisk off, he can just push you away with those flames and then just, you know, do damage. And on top of it, they have a flame shot, which scales with magical damage, so that flame shot from Valor is gonna hurt even more than any other character on Asterisk lineup. So we'll go for a short maybe 5 minutes break, but when we're back, hopefully we'll see something better for Alphette. I think it's really down to the draft, which they will be on blue side this time round, so hopefully things will change for the better for them. But when we're back, we'll bring game 2 between Asterisk and Alphette Gaming. Alright, so it looks like we are about to begin game 2 between Asterisk and Alphette Gaming. If you missed out game 1, you can check out the VODs, but just an update, you know, surprise, Asterisk managed to win game 1 and the first game itself. So let's just jump straight into the draft because the players are already in it. Alright, so there we go. Currently on your screen, we got Alphette Gaming swapping sides with Asterisk. That we're playing on the blue side, and the Asterisk playing on the red. It looks like we've got the Uranus as well as the Chow getting banned out. So Alphette Gaming kind of realized, okay, you know what, the Chow is a little bit too much to deal with. Let's take her out of the picture. But like I said, I think Chow is only one of the issues which they really had dealing into the draft. Yes, you know, you can win the early game because of the damage potential coming out for the Bruno as well as the Grog and Diggy. You know, you have a lot of early game damage, but you know, coming to the late game, you kind of lack that AoE damage that you kind of need to actually take those team fights. A lot of single damage as well coming off the Lunox, but like I said, AoE damage wise, it's kind of lacking. I think the main issue they kind of faced was the 1-1 because of the lack of CC, and on top of it, I kind of forgot to mention as well, if you think about it, you know, 1-1 also has, you know, CC immunity from the second skill, not CC immunity, but she's able to kind of remove CC with needles and flowers. I think that's how the skill is called. So on top of it, you also do AoE damage, I believe, physical damage, 60% of the physical attack, so that's quite a bit to deal with. You also reduce movement speed, so all in all, you know, 1-1 is just a really good hero in team fights. And you know, needless to say, once she gets those stacks up because of her Tiger Pace passive, she just throws out down her ulti and she becomes a really monster to deal with. But yeah, coming back to the draft, we do see the Valor as well as the Grog pickup. So still focusing on the Valor, which I really like. We did see quite a bit of an issue regarding, you know, how Alphette Gaming, when it came down to them trying to chase down the Valor, that was a bit of an issue that they kind of faced because of the fireball shots. On top of it, the flame shots, which is hurting quite a bit. Did you pick up the Buxia as well as the Jawhead, which are two of the heroes that they really like to focus around coming into yesterday's draft when they were playing against their oppositions? So I guess those two are just comfort heroes. It remains to be seen whether or not they will still go for the Lunox, because I feel like at this current patch and meta, there just isn't enough damage on Lunox to carry teams in the late game. Yes, you have the Chaos Assault Barrage in the first half of the game, which is really good for single target, but in the late game where everyone has some sort of a lot of HP to deal with, you don't have enough damage to kind of just break the whole team down. You can take someone out, maybe one or two, but it's just not enough in team fights. Nevertheless, it looks like we're gonna see Asterisk ban out the Lunox, and I'm pretty sure they might just pick up the MM right here. I mean, Granger's still open for pick. You know, Granger's just does really well, but you know, you really see Carry being picked out. They've really got no more bans, so they can kind of just leave it to the last pick. They'll secure the Leomod before anything else. Leomod, this is a pick, you know. if you summon the steed, you can kind of just chase down the carry, which I do like. I don't think carry is, or rather I don't think she's able to get out of range of the Leomord. And on top of it, you also have the CC coming up from the
Nana.
Sylvana. So that is also another avenue where, you know, if Sylvana's able to get onto the carry, that might cause a bit of a problem. But you know, for the sub Alphette, you know, they learn from the mistakes, you know, regroup from game 1. They've got a decent amount of CC now with the Nana, as well as, you know, picking up the Kufra. You've got the Jawhis toss. So I think it's a lot better in terms of it's well more balanced. So yep, it looks like Granger is gonna be the final pick. Kinda straightforward there. Both sides drafts are pretty even, I would say, early game. But if you really go on a late game, like really late game, I gotta give it to Asterisk. I think early game wise, we might see a bit of a draw because both sides are pretty even in terms of damage output. But I don't really see you know, Alphette being able to deal with that late game damage potential coming out. It's good that they have the carry, which is kind of like a reverse situation to what we had in game 1, where, you know, if the 1-1 gets to late game, and this time around it's the carry. If carry gets to late game, then yes, she becomes really scary. And you know, you also have the Buxer as well as the Kufa, which is good enough. I want to give it to, I know I kind of give it to Asterisk just because of the Valor. I gotta be honest, I'm kind of biased here. You know, I really love Valor a lot. I think Valor is just too much to deal with, not only from early but down to the late game. If he skills decently, then he might have a bit of trouble. You know what? I'm just gonna call it out here. I think in terms of early game, Asterisk have better early game potential because of the Granger as well as the Valor. But coming to the late game, I think Alphette can do it if they can get the carry up to speed. I think they should be good. Yeah, they should be able to put out enough damage. I mean, this is how I see the fight going down, right? You got a carry who should be able to catch onto the Grog. The only issue I see with is carry is not exactly the longest range marksman out there. Good still coming from me, but coming back to the point, she's not exactly like Granger or Bruno, or you know, she's not like a 1-1 who's able to keep a distance. Yes, she's a marksman and she's ultimately still a range marksman, but you know, she doesn't really have a really long range. She needs to stay, she still needs to stay quite close. And that's where I think it's a bit scary for a carry to play in this game, because if you look at the opposing side, right, you have you have a Valor, you have a Sylvana, you have a Leomord, you have a Grog, and I haven't even put Miki, who's playing the Granger, into place where, you know, if the carry is in a really bad spot just because she wants to get those stacks in and do damage, she might just get caught out. But all this is just hypothesis, right? Because when it comes down to team fight, it's gonna get messy, it's gonna get gritty. But I'm just gonna call it here. If Mei doesn't keep a distance away from the lineup of Asterisk, she could be in for a bad time. And Shah over here taking quite a bit of shots coming from Tian. She's gonna dive right in with the Grog. Gonna see Death Sonata come up from the Granger as well to secure the kill. They're gonna trade up, they're gonna trade objectives right here. First blood for Asterisk, but they do lose their bomb tower. Nothing Leomord can do. I gotta commend Alpha Gaming for the objective game. Like, they are so focused on taking that. They have to get that tier 1 tower on the offlaner's lane, which is a really good objective to focus on. And I like Asterisk's strategy as well. They like to go like for 2 fighters. In this case, you know, in the first game they went for Chow, they went for Jawhit, and then in this game they are going for the Sylvana as well as the Leomord. So I wouldn't say it's too greedy, because at the end of the day, they are heroes which can push really well on either sides of the lane of the map, and that kind of drags the opposition out of place, right? If you don't pay too much attention to either offlaner, they go into the late game, they become really scary, and now they're gonna contest for the red buff. pretty sure they're gonna steal it right here. They're gonna give it to Valor, not exactly the hero that they want to, but it's still fine. On the other side of the map though, they do manage to pick up a Jawhead, which is good. They do lose a lot for it, but it's not the biggest price to pay because they still slow down the carries farm, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna secure this tier 1 tower in the bot lane. Oh, they might even get carry here, and yes they will. They do burn the stit for it, but hey, it's better to secure the Q than walk away with nothing. They will also, I'm pretty sure they will secure that tier 1 tower in the bot lane. Now Valor's gonna join back onto the fight. Look at that, the AoE damage coming from the Valor. They're gonna secure it through Tien. They nearly got the Bucks here as well, but they do lose the Leomord, which is not the ideal situation. That being said, they will still follow through with the tier 1 tower in the bot lane. Justice Lens coming out. And this is going to be an interesting matchup. I mean, between the Sylvana and the Jawhead, I mean, both it's a case of both heroes not being able to kill each other, but now coming in, oh that's good, coming in for the box here, does manage to get the knockdown. They get not only Valor but the Grok, and now they want to jump back in, and here we go, Tyrant's Madness coming in, getting a 2-man stun, and not only do they get those 2 kills, they get a triple kill onto the carry, which is always nice to have. And that's gonna negate any loss whatsoever they had in the first half of the game, right? They are still with the first half game, but the first half coming into this 4 minutes mark. Tian gotta be careful but not diving in too deep. She does give up a life for it. They nearly go for Nana, but she's got the Molina's gift, which allows her to get out just in time. Irene now diving in the backline. That's getting double kill. Gets a shutdown onto the carry as well. Will eventually go down after taking too many turret shots right there. Asterisk, they're just keeping their opponents really close. Even when they lost that team fight, just a minute ago they lost 4 members at the top, and now they just turned back everything, and now they are ahead by 1k 5 minutes in. Char taking quite a bit of damage. We'll have to burn the flicker for it. Meanwhile, Char still in that stalemate. But because of the diversion in mid, now you got Sylvana pushing on top. And this is where I mentioned about the 2 split pushers over the 2 offlaners. They're just split pushing time and time again. Look at that. Because of that 3-man call in mid, you know, you have the Grok and the Valor sitting on the Granger. They have enough damage and CC to take any fight, even to 4v3. And you have 2 offlaners that's pushing onto top and bottom. They're just pulling Alphette Gaming apart. That being said, I think Alphette Gaming still can win this game if they pull into late game because of the damage potential coming from the carry. Bot lane though, a little bit of drama going on. Mei taking quite a bit of damage. Irene really wants this, even uses the sleep for it, but they will get Kimiko as a consolation prize. And I'm sure they also want to secure this tier 2 tower in the bot lane. And just like that, rinse and repeat. Sylvana is really pushing onto the mid lane, so that's gonna deny any sort of aggression coming up from Alphette Gaming. I gotta say, at this point, like, Asterisk is just purely winning base on rotation. Like, I think I saw an ultimate coming out from the Qualifier right there, but not really catching anyone significant. And Bubble Tea getting stunned up by, what was that? The Joy gets blown up. Ratsford coming up for Mickey, and she will just instantly blow up the Jawhead. That's gonna be an easy kill. They get, I mean, we saw Shah going onto Bubble Tea, nearly getting killed onto Valor right there, but it's just not enough. Maybe a couple more seconds that she could have gotten him, but the stun came in from the Valor, and this is why I say Valor is such an important call. Like, I feel like Valor is still pretty underrated. There was a period of time where MPL, especially in Indonesia as well as the SGMY MPL players were constantly playing Valor, but right now, I mean, the focus kind of shifts away from them, but still, he's such a strong hero to deal with, or rather to play with, depending on which end of the team you're looking at. But in a couple of minutes, just a minute ago, I was just saying that they had their 1k goal lead. Now it's 7k goal lead. Asterisk leading by 7k, even though they've only got 3 more kills. And that objective, like every single time they get 2 to 3 kills, they're taking 2 to 3 towers from the top, from the mid of one lane. And you can see them starting to ramp up pretty scarily right now. I mean, look at items they have on board. Blade of Despair already up. Probably see Endless Battle coming up onto the Granger, just to lower down the cooldown. Mama Grey picking up the Glowing Wand. Huge gamble from Alphette Gaming to actually pick up the Nana as a main core mage. And look at that, Granger's just dealing so much damage from the Death Sonata, and now Grog gonna be using the Wild Charge as well to pick up another kill. Kufa going down really quickly. They do lose Irene, but I'm sure that is more than enough damage that they would have wanted to do. So decent damage onto the middle tower. They also get 3 kills on the Kimiko, Sha, and Hello Daphne. And the only reason why Mama Grey didn't really go down there is because of Melina's gift. I think they could have gotten her if Mama Grey was out of position, but you know, it's better than nothing. You know, you got 3 kills, you do decent damage to the middle tier 3s. I would have loved to see them set up a bait right there, right? Wait for the carry to go for the red buff and then just blow her up, but you know, the Kufa and Jawhead are nearby, so I guess it's better to just get the steal off. They're gonna stack both the blue and red buff onto the Granger. Leonward does manage to pick up the Queen's Wing as well, so that's gonna provide a bit of sustain as well as a I would say longevity, but that's a little bit too far in terms of description. Jawhead now does manage to find the Sylvana, but they're taking quite a bit to burn them down. Now Valor joining out onto the fight. Bubble Teas locking down the Kufa, burning both the flashes. So that is no flash, or rather no flicker, for the next 110 seconds on both the Jawhead and Kufa. And that's the issue with the draft that, you know, Alphette Gaming have to deal with. Look at Asterisk's draft. Like, every single one of the hero, especially the Valor, have really low cooldown. Right? They can blow every single one of the skill, and 30 seconds later, they can go at it again. Flickers available on both Irene and Mickey, which means that they can really dive for the carry or even the Nana if they want to. Meanwhile, 70 more seconds on Sha and Hello Daphne's flicker. And they're setting up a bait right now. So we really can't see the buff timer coming up, but I'm pretty sure that Sha will go down here. Look at that, instantly gets blown up. Didn't really even need to dive too much for it. Irene taking quite a bit of damage from the tower. We'll have to burn the flicker as well. But Lord's coming up into the middle lane in about 10 seconds. And they're gonna start all things off by putting pressure on the bot lane. They stun up the Kufa. Nearly one more shot. Yes, they will pick it up. Has immortality. And we'll pick up the Cursed Helmet as well. But it could be GG right now. Asterisk looking to end things right here. Nana forced to use the ultimate, not really landing on anyone significant. Granger's gonna just casually blow the Bucks here up. They're gonna knock up the Kufa. Not even a chance to defend this. And Asterisk will take this one 2-0. And they are your first grand finalists. So I gotta say, this is definitely way more one-sided compared to the previous game where we saw Alphette Gaming do really well with, you know, objectives. At least they were, you know, trying to get those early game towers, doing really well in terms of pushing Asterisk back, delaying a little bit. But this time around, it's just a blowout, right? You see Asterisk just from the get-go with the Valor, with the Granger, and this is what I mentioned. Like, if they can reach to a late game, Alphette Gaming might be able to get the carry, or the main on the carry might be able to, you know, carry the game. But you know, Asterisk, they know the strength of the draft. They know that they have the Valor, they have this Granger combo, which means they can stick with this tricord, right? You have the Grok, you have the Valor, as well as the Granger, who are really good in early game because of their kit, because of the CC that they have in the Valor, because of the wild charge they have when, you know, Tian reached level 4. And that's what they did. They rotated in trees. They let the Sylvana as well as the Leomord push the opposite ends, and that just dragged Alphette Gaming out of position. They had absolutely no answer to the rotation. They had no answer to how they could deal with the split pushers coming out. And when it came down to team fight, once again, this time around they had enough CC, but they were just lacking in terms of damage. So in the first game, it was a case of Alphette Gaming not having enough CC. In the second game, they just didn't have enough time on the carry to carry them into late game. So that being said, congratulations to Asterisk. They are your first grand finalists of the day. We also are waiting on the results on Team as well as Dreams, and the winner of that is going to face Asterisk to try to get that first place. 4,000 diamonds, that's a lot. I wish I had that. Definitely do not want it. I definitely want to participate in that, but you know, it's FSL, so I can't. With that being said, let's go for a short break, but when we are back, we'll bring you the grand finals, which is going to be a BO5. So hopefully there's going to be a challenger to Asterisk Rampage for in the FSL for the SG and MY competition. Remember, there is no lead up to this. It's only a one-off tournament. It's just to prepare the players for the circuit and make sure that, you know, these girls are ready when that circuit comes down. So we'll go for a short break, but when we are back, we'll give you the grand finals and more MLBB.